Your baby's close to you. There's someone out there.
What's up, Mob Crew? I'm Chris, and today's missing person case is Dawn. Also, today's person of interest is Olivia. Today's missing person case is Courtney.
Police, what's going on by 515th Street? What's going on there, man? We have a kidnapping. Alright, please, please.
Hello? Hello? Oh, nothing more creepier than a freaking shaft. Hello? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. If you can hear me all right, please put a 1 in the chat if you could. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We've got a great show for you. We just got back with tons of footage, like 3 times more than we did last time. So first off, I just want to say thank you guys so much for the support. We could not get out there without your support. And from the support from the Grizzlies as well. So thank you guys so much. And thank you for putting a 1 in the chat. So for those that are new to the channel, I am Chris with Monsters Under the Bed. I cover murder and mystery to the paranormal. And I also like to feature missing person cases on my channel. And so we'll quickly get into a couple of other cases real quick, and then we'll get on to dylanrounds and our footage. And also, you guys have been mentioning this new interview that the mother did on East Idaho, talking about the FBI, which is interesting because when we went out there yesterday, we saw the FBI. We actually talked to one of them for just a quick second. First, let's get into the missing real quick here. So this is Kaylee Jones, who is 16 years old, from Carrollton, Georgia. She's 5'8", 135 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. She may have taken a dark blue backpack with a horse on the front with the words Maisie or Kaylee on it. She may be wearing black tennis shoes or Converse. So it says she is autistic. She was last seen by her parents at bedtime on Tuesday, June 14th. So that's been, so we got 21st, so it's been just over a week. At her home in Whooping Creek Church Road in Carrollton, Georgia. When they awoke the next day, she was nowhere to be found. Kaylee does not have possession of a phone or a vehicle. She is autistic in need of medical care. So if anybody's in Carrollton or in Georgia, please keep an eye out for Kaylee here. And let's do one more here. So this is 16-year-old, I hope I pronounced this right, Shania Armstead. Last seen Wednesday morning of June 15th at Buffalo Academy of Science near Franklin. Please remember, if she is with you, you're harboring a minor. She may be harbored by her father in the Bailey Delavan area, Kenmore, Lancaster, Ferry Projects, Lockport, or potentially as far as Georgia or North Carolina. So another one that could be in Georgia or North Carolina. She stands at 5'3", weighs 110 pounds, has brown eyes, looks like pink dreads. So, and here is an email and the phone number down here as well. It says Shania has 2 nose piercings. So we're gonna zoom in on her. Sadly, I was trying to get a better picture of her, but there wasn't one that I could find at the time. So, all right. So I'm gonna quickly play the trailer for you guys real quick, so I can set up this interview. So I'm gonna play the trailer. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it, but if not, I've been getting great reviews on it. So I'm going to play the trailer for you guys, and so that way I can set up the interview, and we'll watch the drone footage and talk about what we kind of saw and what we ran into. So. So I've got the interview ready here. Let me adjust the volume.
I'm Nate Eaton, and today I am talking with Candace Cooley and Justin Rounds. These are Dylan Rounds' parents, who of course is...
Okay, so let me, so what I'm going to do is I'll talk a little bit, pause the interview, play it, and come on, get up there. There we go. Let's scoot this over, and we'll start with the drone footage, and we'll talk about, so before I play the interview, because I'm sure you're all wondering, what in the heck was that trailer? So, let's start with this. Sure. Actually, let me play it with VLC so I can slow it down certain parts of it when we're flying over the trailer. That'll be a lot better. Okay. So this is our first spot we went to. This is the spot, you know, that we heard about when the first time we went out there. You know, we ran into those searchers that are apparently friends with Justin, the father. And they told us that they were searching along Bald Eagle Mountain, and that they had came across these trailers, and said that when they went in there, it completely spooked them, and said that when they went in there, there was like air mattresses, and they apparently still had air in them, and so, and I think some sleeping bags as well. And so that was last Monday. So it's very interesting. And when I was talking to the locals, she knew of a trailer that kind of people had that kind of type of setup, but not in that area. So she was kind of concerned about it too. And it could be completely innocent, or it could be a place where people go to do whatever. We don't want to speculate too much. We were kind of thinking maybe this could have been the place that the girls were held captive from the Troy Wadsworth, but after kind of seeing how far it is, it's 12 miles from the post office. For someone to walk barefoot from that far, it's not impossible, but I don't think so. But we don't know for sure. But yeah, so there's two structures, and clearly one's been burnt down. The other one, we got a great shot of it, and so we'll show you guys. We're kind of getting there. So to get to where we're at, we had to get, so we're on BLM land. Now this, I'm not sure if this is private property or not. There are some property fences, but we didn't see anything saying no trespassing. Not to say that this isn't property. But from what we had to go into, we had to go into a BLM gate. So we're not exactly sure if this is part of BLM land or if this is private property. I've heard people tell us two things, so I'm not 100% sure. So yeah, as you can see, there's two trailers. It looks like one's been, I don't know if it's just been burnt down, but this one looks like it's been torn down. But this one has been used recently. And they said that they had seen air mattresses in here. As you can see, there are a lot of tracks. So there's a lot of things that we're looking out for. Not only Dylan, but we're looking for tracks, evidence, anything. And of course, all this footage that we get will be sent over. I'm not going to send it over to the Facebook page, because that got me nipped in the butt because of some weirdo. So I'm going to send it to the parents' email directly, because So, but yeah, that's fascinating. There's a lot of wild stuff over in this area for sure. And so Nick, my cousin, obviously is the pilot. He is really great. So BLM land is okay. Yep, Joe Dirt's got it. Yep, it's just public land. So you can go out there and camp, and yep, it's just basically public land. And that's what we call it out here, is in the desert, is BLM land. So as you can see, we're kind of scanning here, and he is going to zoom in. We took 2 flights over this direction here. And so I'm going to start playing a little bit of the interview. I'll pause it, talk a little bit more about the structure, and we'll just kind of go back and forth, because obviously we ran into the FBI, saw a little bit of what they were doing, and so we'll talk a little bit about that as well.
This is a story we've been covering almost a month.
So what we're playing is an interview with East Idaho News with the mother and I think the father.
Now, which is hard to believe. Candace was here a few weeks ago. We wanted to do an update on any potential new developments and really get the word out there that Dylan is still missing. That's the whole purpose, that, here's this 19-year-old kid whose birthday's coming up in August, and we need to find him. First of all, thank you both for coming here. I know you're probably exhausted, and every sort of emotion has gone through your mind.
Can you guys hear that okay? If it needs to go louder, let me know.
The situation for those people that are just tuning in or don't know what the story's about. Your son is Dylan Rounds. Tell me where he was when he disappeared, kind of set the stage.
Okay, so when we first heard about it, Justin and I, when we first knew something was wrong was Monday, May 30th. Justin and our other daughter, Brooklyn, were coming back from Vegas, and I was at home, and we got a call from Dylan's friend JD saying nobody had heard from Dylan. So I got that call. I immediately called Brooklyn and Justin and said, have you guys heard from Dylan? And it was no. So the last time he was heard from was Saturday, May 28th at approximately 6:51 in the morning.
Turn up just slightly a little bit, sure.
So we immediately knew something was wrong, and we all headed to Lucin at that time.
And Justin, would you talk to Dylan frequently?
Quite regularly, not every day, but I talked to him Thursday on our way to Vegas, and he was talking about his tractors and what he was going to do that weekend, and then his service got bad, and then I didn't talk to him again.
So it was basically kind of like I am with my dad. Every couple days I'll text or call on the phone. It's not a regular daily thing, but frequent. So, but it was abnormal, the fact that Monday came around and nobody had heard from him.
Correct. Yep.
So you head to Lucin, which Lucin is a very remote part of Utah by the Nevada-Utah border. What did you find when you got there?
So when we got there, it was like nothing was out of place, nothing was suspicious. We figured Dylan put his grain truck in the shed like he told his grandma he was going to do, and took off walking to his camper and was out there with a broken leg or bit by a snake. You know, it's a 5.5 mile stretch, so that's what we were thinking we were going to find, was a hospital trip and, you know, a quick heart attack for everybody, but bring him home and doctor him up and good to go.
Okay, I'm going to pause it there real quick because I want to answer this question. Yes, we're going to try to get back out there, but we got to recuperate. I did something with my back. It wasn't lifting, or it had to do with the drive when we were driving on the wash, the dirt road. It's really bad. I think I tensed up when we were on it because I was afraid of popping a tire, and of course we popped the tire the first time, and I think I kind of tensed up, and going over just this bumps, I definitely pulled something in my back. I mean, I am in so much pain. I really don't want to make you guys feel sorry for me, but yeah, I am in extreme amount of pain. I've got my heating pad again, and I've got a icy hot patch on my back, and a couple of Tylenol in me because I don't know what it was, but it definitely pulled something. So I got to rest and recuperate before we go back. Yeah, back issues suck. They do. When you're tall, people think, "Oh, it must be nice to be tall," but man, you deal with back issues. So, but I'll be fine. You know, it's something I've had before, so I just got to rest. It's all. So nothing serious. Just have to rest. So okay, I'm gonna continue playing this.
So about 90 minutes into the search is when they found Dylan's boots behind the dirt mound, and they took Justin and I out there, and we both instantly knew. We just didn't know the extent of what it was going to turn into because we were following law enforcement and search and rescue leads, like, or, you know, their way of doing things. If they weren't panicked, if they weren't making a big deal out of it, why should we? You know, we don't know. We've never been in this situation. So we find the boots.
And how far were the boots from his camp trailer?
About 300 yards.
300 yards?
Well, not from the camp trailer, from his grain truck.
Oh, from the grain truck, yes.
Okay, so you've got the camp trailer, you've got his pickup truck, the red pickup, and then you've got the grain truck.
Correct.
And then 300 yards from the grain truck behind a pile of dirt is the boots.
Correct.
And there's blood on the boots.
Well, so they have now confirmed that. We both seen the dark spot.
You saw a spot.
We weren't sure if it was hydraulic oil, grease, or...
Like I said, we were following law enforcement's lead. If they're not panicked, we're not going to panic. So, yeah, but they haven't confirmed it's human.
Interesting. That's interesting. Okay, so now I do have to pause the interview and speak because then I'll get copyrighted. So please understand the reason why I have to stop that and stop and play is if not, they'll copyright me. But if I talk, then it's commentary. So and then it's fine. So yes, that's a good question. They did search it, but they didn't fully search it because they weren't sure if there was evidence in there. Because like I said, these searchers were friends of Justin, the father, and so they just took a quick little peek inside. They said that we'd be able to fly the drone in. I don't think they realized that since the roof, even though the roof is kind of open, you're not going to be able to. And it's from that far away. Unfortunately, Nick can't go any lower because you have to kind of have line of sight. Even though it's like a mile and a half away, you still have to keep line of sight. So obviously, the further you go, it's almost like the higher you got to keep up, or you could lose a signal and we'll lose the drone and the footage. So unfortunately, that was about as low as he can go. But we'd take a couple of runs at it for sure. And of course, just like we did last week, if you guys spot something fishy, I will go back and look at it and zoom in. We'll do another show where we zoom in on stuff. That's the nice thing, is we're filming in 4K. We can zoom in and not lose much quality. So, okay, I'm going to go back to the interview here.
Okay, but there was,
Yeah.
and how much blood are we talking?
Like if you had a bloody nose and a drop.
Okay.
Drip.
So they weren't soaked in blood?
No.
But there's a little bit of blood on there. You find his boots, and Justin, when they find his boots, what goes through your mind at that point?
I just, this is real. And then they tried talking to us. Well, maybe he bought some new boots and threw them out. And these boots right here are the exact same kind of boots they were, and these are a lot worse shape than those. So I knew something was not right.
So they were newer boots?
You know, yeah, a year old or so.
Okay, so they find the boots, and then the truck is parked there.
The grain truck.
Is Dylan gonna go on a walk without a? How is he gonna get anywhere without?
Well,
the
not
truck?
only that, but the boots were found in the opposite direction of if he would have been walking to his camper.
Yeah.
Were the boots near potential crops?
No.
I mean, seed. I
No.
mean,
They were by an old junk hole where they'd burn trash and stuff, kind of.
okay. So you're worried. You're saying this is real. Something's not right here. And then what?
So that search and rescue left that night. They were out until after dark. So we all went to the camper, to where Dylan's camper and pickup was, and you know, we're looking through his camper. We're looking for anything, you know. Can't get in the pickup, can't find the keys, so Justin broke the back window out of it. And
To try to find
anything but
the guns.
And Box Elder, we did have a deputy out with us at that time and asked him about breaking out the back window, and it was basically, yeah, it's your pickup, you can do whatever you want to it. And then nothing in the pickup, nothing in the camper, nothing. I mean, like I said, it was like everything was left perfect, and Dylan was just gone.
No phone, no wallet.
Correct.
But he did make a call from that phone to Grandma on the Saturday morning.
Correct.
And was anything unusual about the call?
Just that it was raining and he had to get his grain truck in, so he protected his seed.
And they've been able to ping, from what I understand, that call came from the farm?
From the area, yeah.
From the area?
Yeah.
Do we know where he went after the call?
That's where it goes blank.
Okay, so I'm going to pause it there. That's interesting because the cell phone pinged in that area. And I told you guys that something that we found out was where the cell tower is at. So I will show you a picture of that, because I actually took a picture of that because I wanted to show you guys. This is really wild here. As you can see, there's like a ladder. It looks like they had two ladders here. One's busted up, but really strange that you got ladders here going down here. I said, it makes me wonder if this was used for something other than living conditions. Yeah, right here. Because you've got this whole wash that you've got to get through. Like I said, it's a quite remote look. I mean, everything's remote, obviously, but those trailers right there are quite remote. And could have been used by the militia, maybe, but we don't know. As you can see, there are tracks. They look pretty fresh. More than likely, they're from search parties, because there's multiple. But there's just some really strange. As you can see, the wash is really. I mean, it's beautiful. I hate this, but you could definitely. There's just so vast. But like I said, we covered a lot of ground, like 5 times more than we did last time. So.
But we do know the day before he was in Nevada.
We know for sure on the 26th, on Thursday the 26th, he was in Nevada. The 27th.
We know for sure because of hearsay.
Yeah, exactly. We know for sure because of credit card transactions. But on Friday, it's some say yes, some say no. The stories have changed. We do know with what they're doing now, they'll dig more into Dylan's phone, and they're doing that. So whether or not they've confirmed if he was there, but we do know the phone call to Grandma came from the farm area, so we know he was in that area.
So
a good
regardless of where he
question.
was Friday,
I'm
he
not
did
sure.
make it back to the farm, or was still on the farm Saturday,
Yes.
and was okay based on
Yes.
the call. Seemed okay.
Yes.
Since we last talked, the Box Elder Sheriff's has said this is now a criminal investigation.
Correct.
What does that mean to you all?
It's terrible. It's terrifying, but it's also got us the help we need.
Yeah. Finally, the FBI's got involved. It feels like something's going to happen now. With Box Elder, it didn't feel like anything was happening. I don't know what they were doing, but yeah, it's
Because it was considered a missing person,
Right.
which is a different status.
Right.
that's why we discussed about getting into the media
Yeah.
and
Is to get
letting
help.
people know who Dylan was. You know,
What are the sideway barrels for, Chris? I'll have to go back and look at it. Yeah, if you're so if you're replaying this, not watching this, not while we're live, but you're replaying this, and you see something, put it in the comments and timestamp it, just like we did last week, and I will go back and review as much as I can. And because you guys did spot out a lot of different things, and honestly, we don't know what we got. I've reviewed what I'm playing for you guys. That way, we didn't fly over, something bad and gonna show it live. But still, there could be something that we could have missed. Maybe even just evidence, So, please, if you're rewatching, just you see something, please put in the comments and timestamp it and what you're, kind of where it's on the screen and what you think it is. So that way I can go back and we'll do another live where, I zoom in on the stuff that you guys point out. And we take a look at it and we discuss what it is. So, and for those that are just tuning in, I'm playing the new interview. It was just posted a couple hours ago, it looks like. This is with the mother and the father with the East Idaho News. Nate Eaton, I believe his name. Really good guy. And so we're playing that while watching the drone footage.
Oh, because that's why we got into the media, and to get the FBI involved and to let people know who he was, and that he wasn't the kid that just took off for a week to do dumb stuff.
I've told people in recent interviews that it would almost be comforting if we had that thought, like, hey, Dylan's mad at us, or Dylan doesn't want to farm anymore, or Dylan had a breakdown and we're going to find him, but we don't even have that.
And this kid, based on talking with you guys, going through Facebook, seeing his photos, it seems like his passion was that farm.
It was.
Farming, being outside.
Yep.
And as you mentioned last time, Candace, he wasn't into video games. I mean, he wasn't into partying. He wasn't into any of that stuff. So what's happened since we last talked? We spoke, you guys were going to do a big search out there the weekend or two ago. No hints, no clues?
No. We had, Elko came out and helped us organize that search. Did the grid search. They assigned everybody areas. There was a few suspicious things they went and looked at that didn't turn up into anything. And then it was that Sunday that I was told the FBI had reached out, and that was all the information I'd gotten.
Okay, so I said I got to keep pausing it so I can talk over it. That way it's fair use. So this is the cell tower because I wanted to take a picture of it. So this is on Bald Eagle Mountain. I am 90% sure this would be the tower that his phone would have pinged off of. And so I'm just going to pull up Google Earth real quick just to show you guys here. So I think it's, let's see here. Gosh, I kind of guessed on this when I put the pin down. And boy, I got pretty darn close. I think it's right here or right here. I gotta kind of look at it from the back a little bit. Yeah, because it's not on the high peak. It's like, I think it's right here. So that's pretty darn close, actually. So it's probably sitting right here. Cell tower. And then just to show you guys where we are at now that we've been there is, okay, so here's the water hole. Zoom out real quick because I'm all turned around here. Okay, so here you got the Nevada, Utah. You got the border here. So it's in between the two tracks here. That's how we were able to kind of hone in on it. And let's see. I said it took us a while to find it, and luckily Nick was able to find it for us. Now I'm having trouble finding it again. It's because it doesn't look like it does now, because this is 2019. It's somewhere in this little valley here, but it's very interesting. So yeah, it's between the tracks here. I'm not sure if they show up, but yeah, it's somewhere in this area right here is where we were at. And you got these giant washes here and stuff. Pretty sure, I think it's here, but anyway. So yep, that's where we are flying. Okay, so I'm going to continue this interview. Like I said, I've got so much footage. And yes, I do got, because we've heard about the post office, I got footage of the post office and stuff.
Was the FBI's reached out, and then by Wednesday, I think it was that Wednesday, we were in touch with an agent, and things finally started happening. So the 15th is when Box Elder came out. It was criminal, and that was after the FBI got involved, but they lost 17 days at that point with the same evidence they had 3 days into it. So, you know, they did take Dylan's campers.
Finally, when the FBI came, the day the FBI arrived, they took the campers.
What about his trucks?
And I reached out to Bonneville County, and they reached into ISP, and they have the truck.
The pickup.
The pickup. And then the tractor he was driving, I don't know if I've reached out to ISP and stuff to go check the ECM on that to just get an idea of when that tractor was running. I haven't heard anything about that yet. It's in Rupert.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it real quick. Okay, so his, so obviously, you know, we wanted to go, because we didn't know if they were there or not. So when we pulled up to where the grain truck is located, to the property line, we had noticed that there was some activity going on there. So obviously we could not fly the drone over because we wanted to help and, you know, search with the drone. But since obviously they're doing their investigation yesterday, you know, we didn't want to impede on anything. But this is what you're looking at right here is where the grain truck is kept. Well, it'll fly that way a little bit. Obviously, we didn't want to get too close because they're doing their investigation. But we ran into the FBI as we were there. One of the gentlemen was, let's see, was he leaving? One was leaving and then one was coming in. The guy that was coming in, because we were stopped, we were just kind of taking some pictures and stuff. And because we were looking at the mound, we were kind of curious about the mound where the boots were found. Anyway, so the FBI kind of guy showed up. He has to open up the gate and everything. And so we talked to him for just a quick second. He said obviously that they were conducting their investigation, and So we told them, obviously we told them what we were doing. And they said, that's fine as long as you guys aren't, impeding on the investigation. And we told them, hey, we're searching this direction, and then we're going to go search over there. He said that's totally, it's totally cool as long as you're not flying over private property or flying, in no fly zones. But other than that, he was really nice. Obviously, he was busy. It was just a quick conversation. We did see them haul something away. I don't know if it was the family hauling something out or the FBI. And obviously I can't tell you what it is because it's active investigation. But when we were pulling up, they were hauling something out. But the thing is they're getting stuff done. So that's the most important thing.
Might give you a clue there.
Give an idea of when the tractor was actually running.
You think about something like this, and I'm sure it's gone through your mind. Was it an accident? Was there some sort of accident? There's also the possibility of suicide. And, I mean, it's out there. You look at all the options, there could be that, and then there's criminal.
Right.
Homicide or something nefarious. So, have all those situations gone through your mind?
Everything.
Except
suicide.
The suicide
The
has
suicide
not.
just...
Kidnapping. He's in a building somewhere. I keep getting texts and calls. He's in a building in Montana. I mean, in Montello.
Which is what you're hoping.
Suicide
Right.
had never crossed my mind. Not one time.
Never any sign of mental illness. Never.
No.
So that.
Okay, sorry to pause. Just one quick thing for my mods. I'm going to make a Discord for you guys. So that way you guys can know all the prompts and everything and make it a lot easier so you don't have to do this well. So I apologize. Thank you so much. Chat's going. I might have to slow down the chat here. Marie Velsan, thank you so much for the $20. That'll help us get back out there if we need to do it again. Be more than happy to. So thank you so much for your donations. Donations help us a lot because we can make the content and also get back out there. Because we broke down the second time we went out there. And yeah, that kind of hurt.
That leaves the accident or the criminal, which now that they're saying it's criminal, I mean, what do you think happened?
Somebody did something. I mean, and...
We kind of got to keep some of what we think to ourselves. We got to keep some of this because we know a little bit more about some of the stuff than we can't release everything. My main goal is to just find out who did what and make sure they get what they got coming to them with the law or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, the main goal is to find Dylan. Don't get me wrong. That's the first and only priority. And when somebody tells me he's in the shed or something, I wish that it was true, but I don't know if that's...
Well, we haven't received any ransom or any...
Or no ransom. People want...
Yeah, that's the thing I was thinking about. It's like, if they're holding them, why not say, hey, a ransom would make total sense. So I think it might be a ruse or something. Who knows? So I just want to show you guys real quick on Google Earth. So for those that are wondering, okay, where are you flying over right now? Now I usually don't show too much of this, but just because we're clearly you're going to see the farm here. But just for those that are wondering. Okay, so the grain truck and everything here. The boots were found on this little mound, and you actually can see that mound. It's actually, because as you can see it on Google Earth. It's fairly big. I guess that's where they say they burn stuff. So it's fairly big. So the gate, real quick. Let's see. Okay, so here's the property line right here. So we pulled up, parked right here. Like I said, we didn't know what was going on until we got there, or we would have never even showed up. But we were gonna go see, if we could, help them. And so anyway, we got there, we were parked here, and then like I said, that's when we ran into the FBI. And then after the FBI showed up, the sheriff came right after. I'm sure he probably radioed in, hey, you got some, guys over here. You just make sure they're good or whatever. So the sheriff showed up right after we told them what we were doing. They were totally nice, totally cool. Said, that's great. You guys are helping. Just, stay away from what they're doing and you're fine. So we did. So anyway, so then we turned back and we went this way here. And let's see, we went to Sun Tunnels. So yeah, we drove and then we pulled over right here. And now what you're seeing is the drone flying off. We did some grid searches right here. So that's what you're seeing right now.
Wanted to help and
Yeah, so it wouldn't make sense that somebody's just holding them to hold them. But I'm with Justin. I mean, I wish that was the case and we'd find him somewhere. And once again, trip to the hospital, some counseling and whatever, and bring him home.
Well, the fact his wallet's gone, and have his bank accounts been touched?
Mm-mm.
So
Okay.
that
Thank
if
you.
someone did have his wallet, they could, go use his cards or whatever. Let's clear up some rumors. You hate to do this because the last thing parents in this situation need is for people to speculate online and
Right.
call people names and do things like that. There is no GoFundMe.
Correct. Absolutely none.
So you're not raising money.
No.
You're not anything like that. Dylan may have been in a horrible relationship with a man or a woman.
Yeah, not true.
Not true.
No basis, no evidence, just speculations and
Thank you, Jennifer, so
rumors
much.
once again.
What are the other things you want to clear up?
That we're working with law enforcement and law enforcement only. Whatever else is put out there, if it is not Justin or myself that is speaking, they are not on behalf of us and they're not gathering. They can show clips of interviews, but it's not with us. So we're really trying to stay focused on the good media. The media is going to report Dylan's story truthfully and keep it out there so that we can find him. So all the other stuff's just hearsay. He also only has one Facebook page, and that's the Find Dylanrounds, the Missing in America one. There's 6 or 7 of them now, and they're all just speculation and robbing off of other stuff. So we're trying to really keep our bases covered and the truth and the facts, and only the facts out there.
That's good. Okay, so that's where the green truck and everything is right here. So you kind of got this property line right here. So like I said, Nick's going to go out a little bit further, and then he's going to kind of start bringing it back and coming back, slightly over. And like I said, he flies at a certain height because, like I said, I can go back and zoom in and pretty much without losing quality because this is filmed in 4K.
Because that's the only way we're going to find him and bring him home.
What can you say about the 2 men that were working with him on the farm?
So, we all know it's been out there that Dylan and Dawn parted ways. But that's what it was. We weren't there. We don't know. I know the story Dylan told me about. It was about hooking up his washing machine, but it's not like it was a knockdown, drag out,
Bitter party.
Yeah. So, and once again, that's something that law enforcement has to decide because we're not investigators and we're not the ones that can, look into backgrounds and past other things to say, hey, we need to look at this. So, they've been mentioned, names have been thrown out. Names have been thrown out by a lot of people who shouldn't have been throwing out names. So we are just clearing and clarifying, and we have no fact to point a finger. Either one of those two, we have no facts, and that's, like I said, that's what we have to stick with.
Do you know how far before Dylan vanished that they had this, that they separated?
It was like 6 weeks, 6-7 weeks.
So it was some time.
Yeah.
And as far as the other farm worker, were they on good terms?
So he just helped him off and on. It wasn't.
It wasn't like he was there full time?
Yeah.
no, he was just kind of when they needed help.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to talk about that just for a second. Thank you so much, Darlene, for your $5 donation. Thank you so much. So I do want to, because I've talked to, obviously we talked to the locals many times going out here and in between going out there. Really good people. They, one of the locals, whose property we went on the first time, they said they actually talked to Don. And Don actually helped them out watch their birds. They said they never felt like Don is any kind of threat. Happy Little Tree. I love that name. Oh my gosh. MX $200. Thank you, Chris. Take care of yourself. Thank you so much. MX $200. Thank you so much. That is amazing. Please show some love in the chat for Happy Little Tree. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. That is amazing. Thank you. I lost my train of thought. Don, yeah, so they said they worked, they had Don do a favor watching the birds for him. Said they never got any kind of bad feeling from him. That's not to say he's, not guilty, but, they said they never felt like he was any kind of harm or any kind of danger to people. But, I mean, you never really know anybody, but that's just what they say. Hey, everyone, please hit that like button. Thanks, Elise. That little action goes such a long way. It does. Thank you. Show some love for Chris and Nick. They've been doing what they have been doing in this case. Thank you so much, Elise.
Yeah, so it's turned into like it was this huge farm that Dylan needed all this help.
Oh, real quick, and we got Grizzly in the house. Gizla, thank you so much. And like I said, just shout out to her. We couldn't be out here without the support from the Grizzlies as well. So thank you guys so much. You guys are amazing. So for those that are tuning in, we are playing the new drone footage that we went out and got. Like I said, we got like 5 times much more footage. We covered 5 times much more area than we did the first time. One of the reasons why we were able to do that is that it wasn't as windy as the first time we went. The first time we went, we had a lot of wind. It sucks up the battery on the drone. So it was nice to be able to go out and fly much longer with one battery. Also, we brought a new converter for the charger, which allows us to plug in things and actually charge the batteries. We didn't have that the first time we went. So we were able to get twice as many flights as we did the first time. So it was really great to cover much more ground. And if we got to go out 4 or 5 times, we'll do it. Like I said, but I got to rest because I really just did something to my back from that drive. And so I got to kind of heal up for at least a week. So thank you, Michelle, for becoming a member. Thank you so much. We've gotten so many new members, so many subscribers. You guys are amazing. This channel is like blowing up. You guys are so awesome. So we're listening to the interview with the mother and father with East Idaho with Nate. This was released just a couple of hours ago, I think. Maybe today. So Mary S., please enjoy a coffee on us during your next trip. Thank you so much for the $10 donation. You are so sweet. Thank you. You guys are awesome.
Running, and that wasn't the case. Dylan could do most all the work on his own. He needed some help mechanicking and putting together mainline. That's more than a one-person job. But other than that, it's one pivot. Dylan could handle it.
So he was doing it most of the time. He was there by himself.
Correct.
Yeah.
And what about people that he may have had interactions with in Nevada or there in Lucin?
So in Lucin, there isn't anybody.
There's nobody.
No. It's
Those 2
no
people.
bar.
Yeah,
there's
there's
no
no-
buildings, nothing
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, it's like the Osgood area, only no gas station. There's nothing out there.
Nothing.
Okay, I'm gonna play just the clip of Montello because I want to show you guys everybody's been hearing about the post office, so I thought I would play the clip with the post office. And we passed the town of Montello twice, once coming in and once coming back. So I'd show you that, and then we'll go back to one more drone footage here.
And then as far as Montello, I mean, you're talking an itty bitty town. You're gonna go into town for lunch and you're gonna socialize with whoever's in that bar or restaurant because it's your only option. You know,
they're the gas station.
yeah, they're the
Okay, so that's kind of interesting. I timed this perfectly. So they're talking about Montello. Okay, we're approaching the town right now. This is Montello right here. So thank you so much, Elise, for your $10 donation. You are a sweetheart. Thank you so much. So here we're is the. Let me pause it real quick here, so they can talk and you guys can see the town. So. Let me play the interview while she's talking about it. Let me slow it down a little bit. Just a little bit. I know we slow down as well.
gas station. Doesn't matter who's there. You're going to talk to them because there's nowhere else to go. So, you know, it's hard to pinpoint and say, you know, who else could he have known in Montello? Well, whoever went in and ate lunch, and on the day he was in there eating lunch.
A guy in Montello was helping him dig his main line last fall, and his backhoe was out there, and he helped him fill it in and a few things. So, I mean, there was a guy in Montello that was doing some stuff with Dylan as well.
Okay, I'm going to pause it real quick. Okay, this is the post office. We also got another shot coming back the other way, which is probably a better shot of it. But this is the post office. It's as big as a house, or like a 2-bedroom house. It's very, very tiny. That is the post office in town. But like I said, we got a better picture of it when we come back.
But I never heard anything ill. I mean, I had a little run-in with one of the guys that worked for Dylan 2 years ago, and I was looking through my texts, and Dylan defended him pretty good and was pretty upset with me. But so, I mean, I don't know what that's worth, but.
So he never called you guys and said, "Oh, this guy's giving me problems." Or never explained about any run-ins with anybody out there.
I've never heard anything.
Nothing.
Why
Here's
do
the
you
gas
think anyone
station.
would target or you know go after your son?
I don't know. That's what makes it so bizarre. There was never any. He loved it out there. He was, you know, we talk about all the people that squat out there and all the people that want to get away
Saddle
from
Sore
society
Bar.
and the government and all that. In Dylan's own little way, he was one of those people because he wanted to get away from where houses could be built on the farm ground, and he would be basically driven out of the occupation he wanted for his lifelong dream. So he was one of those people in a different sense, you know.
Sorry. And this is the Cowboy Bar. So I'm going to play this and then I'll continue the interview. So yeah, very small town. We're basically at the edge, the edge of the town. So there's that backhoe they were talking about. Remember, you guys pointed that out the first time. It's still there, same position. So, and there's quite a few of them actually. Pretty crazy to see a phone booth. So here's the Cowboy Bar. So apparently the Wadsworth brothers own both of them. Or one of the brothers owns both of them. And that's pretty. I think this is the last street that you can go down. Then you got the Centennial Park right here, which doesn't really look like much of a park. Honestly, we didn't get as a weird vibe at this time. We saw kids out there playing. There's another backhoe right there. Then you got a few little residents. So that's pretty much very small. One gas station. And one little tiny post office. And then that's pretty much, this is the edge of it. There's a couple little trailers, and then pretty much that's it. And then you're just back to open road again. Open land, I guess.
He wasn't antisocial or anti-government, but he needed to be out where he wasn't going to have people move in on him. And that's why he loved it so much, because he knew he never had to worry about that.
Yeah, he had a huge vision of that area.
He's going to develop the whole valley.
What do you want people to know?
Just to stick with the facts, stick with the good media, you know, keep up on it. If you hear something, you know, call in. But we don't want this blown up to this crazy, insane theories. We need to stick with the facts and find Dylan.
Somebody out there knows something.
Exactly.
And what would you say to them?
Just come forward. I mean, we got to have something. We need a direction. We need even if you don't think it's important and it's the smallest little piece of something that's actual factual, you know. We don't need to hear for the, I don't know, millionth time, is he in the grain truck? Or check the silos. There are no silos. Somebody out there is, and you know they're seeing the media, and you know they're seeing this, and they're holding it in. Like, this is our son. Come, tell us.
I've had a lot of people text me. Just last night I was texting some people, and they're trying to help, and I think they are, but a lot of them out there don't want to talk to the police, and I don't know what to follow, and back and forth, and I mean, I've been everywhere out there, in places I would never want to go again, and I wish they would reach out to the law enforcement if they really thought they had something. I don't mind them reaching out to me, but I can only be so many places at so often.
One second, guys. I'm gonna slow this
And
down.
you don't want to use all of your time to chase down all these rabbit holes.
We
know?
have been a lot, and I will, but I'd like some help with the law enforcement to look into when they hear some things. It seems like they just think it's nothing.
That has been a problem. We have had some stuff that actually needed to be looked into that they've called into Box Elder and they don't get a response from them.
Yeah, we got
Multiple times.
something that we know that we don't want to share has been called into Box Elder, and they never responded to the people, and they finally reached out to me.
The people did.
Yeah.
I had some information, and
So that has been an issue.
Are you planning any more searches?
As soon as we have somewhere to send the volunteers, we've got to have a direction. We can't.
Just have people go out
Yeah.
and roam. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's kind of how it was the first weekend. We
It was
didn't know
terrible.
what to do. We just decided to ask people if they were going to go out for the weekend, come here and go out for the weekend and drive around
Yeah.
and let's just look. 'cause
Yeah, it was terrible.
we had no idea what to do or where to go. We've never done this before.
Yeah, and we didn't have help from law enforcement. I mean, it's like we said, we are not exaggerating when we say they left us in the desert.
The literal desert.
The literal desert. Yeah, so like I said, we are getting the help we need now. And it's been the media that's got us there. I think it would have been swept under the rug as a simple another 19-year-old that walked away had we not pushed.
The media, you guys have helped to get the FBI involved, I do believe, and I appreciate that.
Well, there's definitely an interest in your story, in your son. I mean, there is an interest. People want to know where he is and if he's okay.
Yeah, it's possible.
And here we are, nearly a month later. Can you believe it's been a month?
I know.
It probably feels like 10 years to you in a way,
Yeah.
but one day to you? I mean, what has it been like?
Like I said, in waves, some days it feels like a year, some days it
Yeah.
feels like just yesterday we started.
Yeah, it's all a blur.
Anything else you want people to know?
No, we'll keep updating and keep moving forward, and hopefully we get some more drones out this weekend, it sounds like, so that'll be good.
You've had drones, you've had dogs, ATVs,
Helicopters,
helicopters, horses, nothing.
nothing, not anything.
And that's one other thing we're waiting on right now for EquiSearch is the invitation for the new pilots. I did get word of that right before I got here, that's what EquiSearch is waiting on, is for Box Elder to say yes for every pilot, because EquiSearch is very particular.
So if the family's out there, we'd love to interview them. I've tried to reach out because here I'm in Utah, and I got a great pilot. I got Nick. He is an amazing pilot, and as you can see, he's done amazing work with his drone in just little time. And you guys have just seen like 20% of what we got right now. So if the family's watching or anybody knows the family, door is always open to come on the show, because like I said, it'd be nice to talk to them and especially plan out something for the next time, and then I can show them everything that we've done. Obviously I'm still going to send it out and everything. I'm going to show you guys something kind of, since we're out all this kind of negative stuff, but something that was kind of cool. Because I told you guys that water hole, when you look at it just right, It looks like neon, and I finally caught it just right. So this is kind of, I wanted to show you guys something beautiful since everything's been kind of dark. So look how cool. This is at the water hole. And like I said, when you catch the light just right, it looks neon. It's really cool. So you've got this algae that just, it's like string, and it goes over and it wraps. Really, like I said, it looks like a swamp, but when you get close, it's I've never seen anything like it. But it probably cleans the water, but like I said, it's beautiful. It's not very deep or anything, and this is kind of where some of the locals come to get their their water and stuff. Yeah, I would say a foot, maybe slightly over a foot in the middle. It's not deep at all. You're pretty much looking at the bottom right here. But yeah, I've never seen anything like it. It's beautiful, to be honest with you. It's quite beautiful. It's amazing what you can find in there. I mean, this is in the middle of the desert, so it's pretty crazy. Yeah, we didn't touch or anything. I had gloves. We all had gloves, when we're working with anything. So, so let's finish this. There's like 2 more minutes. I think they're just saying thank you, but let's just
How
see.
they do everything, and these drone pilots are too. Like they need a yes from law enforcement.
They
so
need a law enforcement around
With them.
so that the
Yeah.
evidence can be used.
Yeah.
So they find something.
So we just, kind of feel like we're running on Box Elder's timeline instead of them running on Dylan's. Like, let's get these guys out here. They're lined up. They're ready to go. Let's go. Yeah. So.
Well, we'll put up a picture of Dylan. This is dylanrounds, and if you know anything, call police. Somebody knows something. Follow the one official Facebook page. We'll link to that down in the story below. That's where you can get the most accurate information. Everywhere else, you'll want to verify. Yeah. Because there is some crazy stuff out there. I hope next time we talk, it's on. Yes. We have some news to report that's
positive.
To bring some closure in a way, regardless of what it is. Justin, thank you very much, and Candace, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
We're thinking about your family, praying for you, and gosh, hope this comes to an end soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we just listened to the interview. I am gonna play just one more clip because, like I said, we'll do like kind of what we did last time. We'll have multiple viewing parties here because we've got just so much footage, as you can see, ground footage and aerial footage. I'll show you guys. I did. Let's see. I should have named these videos right here. Let me take a look at this one real quick here. It's 9 minutes. So we're at... Okay, so no, that's the first spot. That's the first spot. Let me check this one real quick. There's, like I said, there's so much. Okay, so there's me going out. This is also along the property line as well. Close to the property of where the grain truck was. So I'd walk about a quarter mile out, and then of course he flies over nearly 2 miles out and comes back. But we did come across some strange things. Obviously, that trailer that you guys, if you missed the first part, we were showing the trailer that's in the trailer of my video. And we've got another video of that trailer as well that I'll play in the next live that we can take a look at. And I'm gonna zoom in and slow down some bits of it of that trailer. Because you can actually kind of see inside of it a little bit. And so we'll do that in the next live. So. But yeah, what we're looking at, this is another run where the grain truck is about, actually, grain shed is, I think, is right here. Here's the property line here. So we'll play this one here, and then maybe answer a couple questions, and then maybe do one more video. We'll see what time it is. I'm not gonna do pet time just because I just didn't have time. The thing about when you do this is when you go out and search, your subconscious knows that you could potentially come across something. So you get an adrenaline rush, and it's crazy. It's something that I can't even describe. I mean, obviously, if you guys had natural high, I mean, it's kind of like that, but it's weird. It lasts all day, even to the next day. It's really weird. And so once again, I hadn't had much sleep. I did take a nap at least, but it's been kind of tough because I kind of hurt my back. Like I said, I think the drive just, you know, you're kind of like driving on a washboard when you're on these dirt roads, and it just kind of, I think I was just really stiff, and it just kind of didn't work well with my back, and kind of pulled something. So, but I'll be fine. I just got to rest, and you know, hopefully we can get, if they need us to come back out there next week, we can definitely do that. But so we fly on, let me pause and just show you guys just kind of where we've been flying here. So we're kind of flying this area here. We also take a flight and go this way towards the sun tunnels. There was something interesting, a tarp that we found. You guys see it in the trailer. I did check that out because I'm like, oh gosh, there's a tarp. Am I going to find something under it? Obviously I had gloves. And I checked the tarp, but we'll save that for the next live. I'll show you guys that. So just want to reiterate, if you guys are watching the replay, if you do see anything that may be suspicious, please let me know, and just put a timestamp in the comment. And what's kind of where it is on the screen and what it looks like, or what do you think it looks like, and then we'll go back and zoom in and examine it even further. But like I said, we went out yesterday. FBI was out there, and I'm not sure if EquiSearch was out there or not. It looked like they had some kind of search party going. Sadly, you know, the weekend prior, which was this last weekend, they were supposed to have EquiSearch and have the drones up and everything. Well, it was bad weather from like, I think from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It was completely bad weather. It was raining. High winds were really bad, so I can imagine there was no way they had drones in the air. So that kind of sucks for them, because that's going to set them back. But like I said, we'd love to have the parents or any of the parents or family members reach out and do an interview, or just so we can spread awareness and always go back out there. Yeah, I saw your comment, Lady M. No squirrels this time. We ran into a snake, but no squirrels. This is not the farm. We were gonna go to the farm, but I think that's gonna be our next time, because we kind of figured they might be over there, and so we just didn't want to be impeding. So we will, if we go back out there, and if they're not like doing their investigation and they still need our help, we'll go out there and we can see if we can check out the farm as well. But it looks like they're kind of doing, from what I understand from the locals, she said that she had seen the FBI and some search parties starting at the Sun Tunnel. So I think they're doing, so as you can see, I've got this circle right here. I think they're doing some kind of like 3 mile out, work their way in type deal. Could be what they're doing. Yeah, no squirrel but snake, yeah. It wasn't a rattlesnake though. It was just not a garden snake. I forget what it's called. It eats garden snakes though. And they try to pretend like they're rattlesnakes, but they're not. They're not as dangerous. So, yeah, we showed the drone footage of the trailers in the beginning. We were showing that, and I've got more footage of the trailers. So, yeah, we'll look at it real quick for those that tuned in and might have missed it. We'll show you just a little snippet. I've got much more of the trailer footage, and I'm gonna zoom in and stuff like that, but. We'll show you guys. So these trailers are out here. To get where we were at, we had to go through a BLM gate, which is Bureau of Land Management. It's public land. And so Nikki's going to fly this bad boy off. And here's the trailers right here. You got this giant wash that just goes on. And this is the spot that these searchers were talking about that creeped them out. Sorry for the dogs. Somebody must be walking their dog in front of the house, and so the dogs are going off. So it looks like one's kind of destroyed. I don't know if it's burnt down or just been destroyed by equipment. The other one's kind of got the roof. I'm not sure what happened to the roof. But it's pretty crazy because it's really hard to see in. And Nick, of course, you can't go too low because when you're miles out with the drone, you got to keep line of sight, even though you can't see the thing. You got to keep line of sight, or if he brings it down too low, it'll lose signal, and we would lose the drone. So unfortunately, he can only take it down so far, or he could lose signal. But I'm gonna take this footage and I'm gonna zoom in. We went over this thing like multiple times, and this one. And like I said, this is the spot that the searchers were talking about, that they found some air mattresses in that were still inflated. I believe some sleeping bags. So, it could be a squatter's. It could be used for more nefarious activities. We do not know. But it is interesting in it. But we'll definitely try to zoom in more on the next show that we do. Clearly it had electricity. As you can see, there's wires, there's lights, there's a little stove here. It looks like it was maybe 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms. So like I said, I played this entire footage, so I'm going to kind of skip forward a little bit because we played this in the beginning. He kind of goes over this one just a little bit to show you guys. But like I said, we flew over this multiple times because we weren't sure if anything might be evidence. Like I said, the family knows of this place. The searchers that we talked to knew the family. So I'm sure they know of this place. And everything that we captured, we will send to the family as well. But yeah, you can kind of see in there, like I said, I'm going to zoom in. You can see a light fixture right here. I'm going to toy around with it. I'll be able to zoom in. We can at least see what... It looks like there's like a hallway right here almost. Looks like there's a wall right here. So there's a hallway. Maybe there's 2 bedrooms. Not entirely sure. There's a stove right here. I can see the stove. So, kind of eerie for sure. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff laying around. Very interesting. I mean, it's kind of typical for these kind of areas, you know, for kind of junk to be lying around. It's not completely out of the ordinary, but... And then here's kind of a look. Like I said, this one, there's not much to see. But we do fly over this one as well, a lot more. So... then there's look like a junk pile right here as well. So... But pretty interesting. Then we caught a lot of tracks, but we don't know. I mean, I doubt those tracks are... I would assume most of these tracks are probably from searchers. Dylan's tracks, I'm sure, would have probably been swept away by now, just from the weather. Hi, Mob Crew. I hope everyone's having an amazing day. Same to you, Tom. Thanks, buddy. I think, let's see, what do we got? I think we'll probably save the rest for another day. Still got a lot. Let me show you. Oh, let me show you another view of that post office, because we did drive past it. There it is. So there's the Saddle Sore Bar. It said it was still closed, which was interesting. We were leaving at like 6 o'clock, I think. So it's kind of weird to see that closed. So we're coming up on the post office here in just a second. Right here. So you can see post office. Just a little guy right there. So not a very big post office. And so I've heard that the town has 200 people, and then I've heard as small as like 59, 49 or something like that. So I'm not sure. So, but I don't know. When we passed the town, it wasn't as creepy as the first time. We saw a lot more people just kind of out doing their thing, and it just kind of looked normal, to be honest with you guys. So, like I said, we're in a unique position, so it's kind of hard to, talk about a town and say, oh, well, they all just do, drugs and stuff. But I mean, anywhere's gonna have bad apples, so you got to keep that in mind. And then the bad apples make everybody else look bad. So, but I would say we weren't as creeped out going past it. I don't know. Maybe we're just kind of used to it now. But our main focus is finding Dylan. We've got so much more footage to show you guys. So, and I'll have another trailer for you guys to put together to show you what else we found. We went and searched the root cellar again thoroughly. And just tons more footage to show you guys. That was just 20% of what we got. So I think we'll leave it there. Yeah, we don't go too much into the rumors, because that's, especially with our position, it's tough to, when we be talking about people and then going to that location and then they're there and not be too happy with us. So I just want to say thank you guys so much for the support. I gotta go like sleep for the rest of the night because I am so tired and so sore. And we'll probably go live tomorrow. Also, I believe I will be on Grizzly True Crime talking about this case and showing some exclusive footage on her channel as well, because obviously I couldn't have gone out there without the support from the Grizzlies. So shout out to her as well. So we'll probably be doing 2 shows back to back on this stuff. So stay tuned for that for tomorrow. And with that, I think I'm going to sign off. I just want to say thank you guys so much. Thank you, mods. We'll be setting up. I've got a few new ideas for merch because I know it's been forever since I've done merch. So I've got a few designs almost ready to get put out. So I will let you guys know when I do that. And then also member videos. Oh my gosh, I've got so much stuff for members coming out. So I just need to kind of rest and put it together. But so much coming for all tiers. So with that said, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful